Using my new Heaven for Everyone version 5 basic template with the currency strength meter and the forex factory calendar alert, and I'm testing the new AutoScaler Straddle EA, and we have 1 minute to go. And in my template you can see in the pound US dollar, the bottom window is my 4 time frame, so all of the time frame dots are purple, so that means the trend is down. However, it's hit the starburst is showing up, and in the USD JPY, which is the opposite correlated pair, the 4 time frame trend is up. So it's pulling back a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my straddle, and you can see down here that I have to pull this up, that the trades are being placed. Sorry, this is a new demo account, and so I'm not really set up for this yet. The US dollar JPY triggered a buy, and the pound US dollar triggered a sell. So we'll see how these do, and I'll show you my set file after we're done here. So I should have gotten in and placed my straddle a minute before, but I wasn't ready. And that's part of the problem, is you just have to be on your toes and really ready. The currency strength meter shows the pound as being neutral yellow on the weak side, and the US dollar is yellow, just a little bit stronger, so that means the pound US dollar should be going down slightly. However, it's really not going down. You can see the trades here. The US dollar yen, the currency strength meter, the US dollar is sort of an average yellow neutral, and the yen is a stronger orange. So that means the USD yen should be going down. So getting in at the beginning, we would have, if I had placed the straddle 1 minute before the news time at 9 a.m. Eastern, then I would have been on the right side of this trade. But the US dollar is neutral, and the pound is also neutral, so the US dollar, the pound US dollar is not really moving. It's not going anywhere, and I'm approaching my stop loss. So these trades are just not going in the right direction because I entered too late. I should have entered with my straddle trade a minute before the news started, and I entered too late. But I'll let the video run and we'll see what happens. I think that if I switch to a 1 minute chart for the entry, that I could see this a little bit better. You can see how my entry was too late on this 5 minute candle. Also too late on this 1 minute candle. So today's not working out, but I've only lost $5 so far. I made my stop loss really tight. So this news event was not very spectacular, especially for the pound US dollar. And if I had had more monitor screen, I would have shown you well, let's look at the euro. That went up. And let's look again at the US dollar yen. So it's going down. Okay, so now we have a buy. Okay, so the euro is stronger than the US dollar and stronger than the pound, but it's still yellow neutral. So this news event just didn't really do much of anything. So I made a lot of mistakes this morning doing this, but you can see the mistakes in my video. And just because I made a mistake, I wasn't ready 1 minute before the red news event, and I jumped in late with my straddle trade. So I've placed other trades subsequently 7 minutes later, and the euro is still stronger than the pound, and the US dollar is so weak. So the euro US dollar should be going up, and you can see in the chart we have a green dot, even though we have a white X that tells you there's no momentum, but the white X disappeared on this candle and we have a green dot. So the euro US dollar is doing what the currency strength meter said it's doing. The euro is trying to get stronger, which is pushing the euro US dollar pair up. Now we have a yellow buy arrow for the euro US dollar. So the euro US dollar is a tiny bit in profit, and there we go. The euro US dollar is moving at least, and let's see, I have to move this chart up. Only buys are left on the USD yen, but the USD is really weak. So the USD yen, I'm going to close the buys on the USD yen, and I'm going to place a sell on the USD yen. Now these trades are going, at least the euro USD is doing okay, and I'm using the grid function instead of the manual in the set file. So, and I have it set at 1.5 so that each subsequent trade is a little bit larger than the other one, and I can close out each one when I want to here, or go to close half buy or close half sell, and if I did that, it would close half of the order and move my stop to break even. So that's a good thing to do if you have a really, really strong trend. But this morning we are not having a really strong trend. It's pretty dismal for a red news event. So nothing exciting going on here. So let's see if the euro US dollar will keep going up. So far it is going up. Here's my take profits up here, and also the green triangle breakout buy target is right here, but the green target is right at Fibonacci resistance 1, and it's also in a red supply zone. So this would be about as strong as I would expect this to get in just the next few minutes. So now what's triggering the US dollar sell? Let's take a look at this, and let's see, let's open this all the way. This is euro US dollar buy trade. It's a little bit in profit, 7, well now it's going down, and the stops are really tight, so it's probably that I used a quick scalp because I expected to be in this trade 1 minute before the news event, but I should have chosen a different set file, or created and then chosen a different set file with wider stops, because this is not a quick scalp. This is barely a scalp. So all of the sell trades are activating for the US yen. Let's look at the 1 minute chart. So they've all activated. So I don't have the currency strength meter on the US yen. Well, okay, now we do, so we can monitor the US yen. The US dollar is still yellow, weak, neutral, and the yen is getting stronger. So the US dollar yen should keep going down, and we should see some profits from the sell trade for the US dollar yen. And let's look at the euro US dollar. Let's look at it in a 1 minute chart. Okay, spread it out. Here's the triangle target for the buy trade. And so if it gets up to the triangle target, then I'll close all the trades. because this is not a strong trend this morning for either of these pairs, especially the euro US dollar. Both of these values are yellow. The euro is a little bit stronger in numerical value than the US dollar, but they're both yellow, so that's neutral. So the better trade this morning is the US dollar yen in a sell, because the yen is really strong orange and the US dollar is a weak yellow. The Aussie wants to be the strongest. I haven't even looked at the Aussie this morning, and I should have, so let's see. Let's change the pound US dollar chart to an Aussie US dollar chart. And this is right at 9 a.m. You can see this really nice, let's change that to green so you can see. This is 1700, which is 9 a.m. So it's a half an hour after the US stock market opened. You can see the consolidation right here, really narrow, and the big burst of activity. So if I had been looking at the Aussie US dollar chart, I would have bought the Aussie US dollar, and I would have used the straddle trade right here 1 minute before, and it would have canceled all of the sell trades, but it would have captured the buy trades really, really nice. And it's continuing to climb up. Let's see. We're approaching Fibonacci resistance 1, and here's the triangle breakout buy target. So this one really had quite a ways it could have moved. It was the better pair, and if I had been paying attention, I would have bought the Aussie US dollar instead of the euro US dollar or the pound US dollar. So that's how you use the currency strength meter to determine ahead of time what pairs you might want to buy or sell, and using the straddle button 1 minute before, that's the ticket. Not to get in late the way I did, so don't get in late, because you don't know how the trend's going to change. It all depends on the strength or weaknesses of these currencies. And for a red news event, the currency strength meter is really, really important. We have the US dollar weakening. There it is, a very weak blue 2.0. That's very weak. The euro is getting a little stronger, orange, 5.4. So the euro US dollar should be going up and should continue to go up. And let's look at the USD yen. That's continuing to go down. We're 22 pips in profit, 23, 24, 25. And the starburst has shown up. So this would be a possible exit point. And down here we have in the 4 time frame, the 1 minute and 5 minute dot is purple, showing a downtrend, but the 15 and 30 minute dots are green, showing an uptrend. So the thing to look at then is your wild hog RSI and the MACD, because when these actually touch or cross, that would be the perfect exit point. So they haven't touched or crossed yet, although they're at the green 15% RSI level, so it's already very oversold. But because these two lines have not touched yet, I'm not going to close this trade. I'm going to hold on and see if I can get a couple more pips out of it. And right now, overall, $10 in profit, so a little bit makes up for my bad entries, my bad judgment, my poor timing, my lateness, my tardiness. So, okay, so now the RSI is turning green, so I'm going to close all of the, let's see, I'm in the US dollar, yen. I'm going to close, well, let's see, some of these trades. Okay, we have 0.50. If I close half of my sell trade of US dollar yen, it's going to close half the trades and move the stop losses to break even. So but I'm using a very, very tight stop, so I don't think I want to do that. So I think what I'll do is close manually the best trades. Oh, there, it's doing it all by itself. It already did it. So it closed all of the US yen trades. It's really hard to do this, trying to record and trade at the same time. That's why I don't do this live. It's really hard. Okay, open the comments. So you can see the USD yen closed with 31-cent profit on the 01 trade, and the 02 trade was a little bit better, and the 03 trade was. So overall, we've lost $5.16 this morning just practicing. I have one US dollar sell trade left open with 0.05 microlots, and so the trade is reversing. There's a green dot. The RSI went from oversold, now everything's green. So we're going back to the original trend, but the US dollar is still weak compared to the yen, which is strong, but it's not as strong as it was. So the yen is weakening, the US dollar is strengthening, so the US dollar yen is starting to go back up a little bit. It's actually going in the original direction because the 15-minute and 30-minute dots are green. But now we have white X's showing up, so it's going into a consolidation range. It's flat trend with no momentum. So let's see what happens, because we still have one yen, US dollar yen trade open. It's improving a little bit. So we'll just leave that trade open because the trade manager is managing it for us. The euro US dollar, this trade is doing fairly well. We're already up 50 pips. So, but the lot sizes are so small that it's not super profitable. But this is a brand new $500 account, so I wanted to just trade two pairs with conservative lot sizes for this morning, because it's really hard to do this while I'm recording. But you can see that overall the profit's increasing, and the euro US dollar just keeps going up. Now it's at 63, 64 pips, so it's still moving up nicely. We have the starburst showing up, and the RSI is at the 85% purple level, and the MACD and the RSI are kissing, so that means this trade is probably going to quit going up so strongly. The euro US dollar, well, the euro is still pretty strong orange, and the US dollar is very weak. So with 70 pips, 72, it's still climbing a little bit, and we have the stop loss. So our entry was 0.0813 and it's 0.0829. So it moved up pretty good, and there it goes. So it closed, let's see, it closed the US dollar yen. So it still hasn't made any profit, and that's because of the commissions. So you need a little bit bigger lot sizes and a better entry, because you need to overcome the cost of the commission. So even though the USD yen sell positions all closed at just a few cents profit, we're still, it's not a very big gain. So I think at this point we're 62%. I'm going to close all of the, well, let's close half of the buy euro USD. Let's see what happens. So it should close half of them and move the stop loss. Well, let's move the stop loss to better than break even. So but it's very close. So we're 2 pips difference, 3 pips difference. So these could get stopped out really, really soon, and we'll still have some nice profit a little bit if it keeps going up. So I just wanted to experiment with that close half, and it kept the stop loss pretty close to the current price. So it's trailing by 3 pips approximately. And I'll show you my set file for this. I'll open up. Hold on, I have to. Okay, so, and this trade probably, this Euro US dollar buy trade will probably get stopped out while I'm doing this. But here's the 01 initial lot. The lot multiplier is 1.5. I have it so that if I click the straddle or the sell or the buy, that the price has to move 2 pips before it'll actually trigger the pending buyer sells. So continuing down here, I'm not using the manual trade, I'm using the grid. Here it is, the take profit and stop loss grid, because I want to be able to use the close half buy and sell, which closes half of your lot size and will adjust your stop loss. And my stop loss is trailing, well, I had it set to break even at 12 pips. So any of these trades, if they moved 12 pips, it would bring the stop loss to break even and lock it in. So I would not have any possibility of a losing trade. And then it's going to follow the price every pip. And so for every 10 pips it moves up, it's going to move the stop loss 1 extra pip. Now I chose to put the chart in the left corner because the way MT4 is, if I had it in the right corner, it covers up all of the stuff. If I had the AutoScaler Straddle EA showing in the right hand side of the chart, it would cover up my other information here, which I like to see. So this is the set file for a very quick scalp for news trade, but don't do what I did this morning. Don't get in late. I was in like a minute or 2 late. I don't know. It moves so fast. You have to get in a minute before. So the Euro US dollar trade is still at 54.6 pips. I'm still almost $7 in profit. The stop loss, we're 10 pips close to the take profit. So I'm just going to let this ride because 0819 was my entry and it's now at 0832. And here's the take profit. So it's approaching the take profit, which is, remember in my set file, my take profit I set for 30 pips. So overall, but you can see that it's actually 60 some pips in profit overall because I have the multiple positions. So, and we've already booked almost $5 in profit. So I like this set file. It's doing okay, even with all the mistakes I made, and I'm sure when you demo test this you'll make mistakes too. So just demo test it enough that you get really comfortable with your set file. You can create different set files for yourself, and for 1 minute before a red news event you definitely should have a quick scalp. But for a situation like this, I would have chosen a different set file that has a bigger stop and maybe even a bigger target, and just to be sure that I don't get whipsawed and stopped out. But it's approaching the take profits up here, even though in the RSI window the RSI is now purple and the MACD is purple, And that means that at the 85% RSI level, this is way overbought. But you can see in the 4 time frame windows, only the 15-minute time frame has a purple dot. So overall, the trend is up pretty good, but it's really stalling out. It's pooping out. I don't know if it's going to actually hit my take profit. I could let it run because I can't lose anything. But just for the sake of this video, now we have a white X that's showing flat trend, no momentum. So I'm going to close all of my Euro USD buys. So I'm going to click close all buy. So this morning's demonstration, and this was a long demonstration, I'm really sorry, but we're up almost $13, and my profit loss indicator shows that I made almost 3% this morning. That's even with just fumbling and making mistakes. So I'm going to get better at this myself, and if you keep practicing in your demo, you're going to get good at it. And let's practice all next week and get ready for non-farm payroll, because that should be a really fun one. That's going to have all the momentum that we need, and we didn't have the momentum this morning for this news event. But non-farm payroll will not disappoint us. So let's get ready for it. Let's just keep practicing all next week with the red news events. If you have my Forex Factory calendar, which is just right here. Well, no more events, so for today we're done. But on Sunday, this will change and show you the red news events for Monday, if there are any, and possibly Tuesday. So every day this is going to change, and then on the day that you do have a red news alert, you're going to get a pop-up audio alert 30 minutes before the event, and you're going to see a red dash dot on your chart here so that you can plan ahead and be ready for the red news event, unlike me. And you're going to do really great with this trade manager. It's really a wonderful trade manager. We've got all the bugs worked out now with version 3, and it does some wonderful things, which you'll discover as you demo trade, and you're going to make a lot of money in your live trades. So you're going to enjoy this very much. So thank you so much for picking it up, and I wish you many, many happy pips.